I'm able to hold space for truth other than mine. Welcome to the weekly affirmation. So this week we're going to be talking about truth again. And this time we're going to talk about truth that exists outside of us. And I came up with this affirmation because I realize we all often struggle with accepting truths that aren't similar to ours or aren't the same as ours. Sometimes we adjust to it, but sometimes we feel threatened by it. And since we're living in a community, there's bound to be different opinions, different truths, and all of them are valid to a certain extent, as long as they're not harming the right of others to live life according to their pleasure, the pursuit of happiness. In a community, we struggle with that. So therefore, I came up with this affirmation so that we can learn to embrace and embody the truth. And that is, even though we have our own truth, we are still capable of accepting others' truth. So, as always, I'm going to say the affirmation 3 times. Feel free to say it along with me. And then I'm going to pose 2 questions that we can discuss. Feel free to write in the comments your opinions. I'll be happy to read about them. And then write down your answers. As always, I have my journal and my pencil. And I will be joining the journey with you guys. Yeah. So, let's say the affirmation. You can say it along with me, no? I'm able to hold space for truth other than mine. I'm able to hold space for truth other than mine. I'm able to hold space for truth other than mine. How did that feel, guys? The first question is, why do I reject other truth? Why do I reject other truth? And why do I feel threatened by others? I believe these 2 questions are valid. Because as humans, we can hold space for so many things. So if we find ourselves rejecting certain truth, that means we have certain beliefs that are not compatible with that truth. And we need to understand it instead of dismissing it. So to the first question, why do I reject other truth? First of all, I want to say 2 things can be true at the same time, because life is being lived from different perspectives, meaning everyone is they have their own universe, and within those universe there are certain rules, certain wounds, certain joy, and certain limitation in a way or 2. And when we meet our fellow humans, we interact with someone, we're interacting with all of those wounds, those joys, those rules, those limitations, restrictions. And therefore, when they say something like, I don't believe this, we can be like, okay, sure, why don't you believe in that? If they have reasons for it, fine. If they just dismiss you, then that's fine as well. You can just take it. Because the truth is, you cannot control what someone believes. Despite what the media sometimes try to do, the choice to believe a certain truth lies with the individual. So, if you reject the truth, that's a choice you're making. And I hope that when you make that choice, it comes from a place of love, a place of healing, a place of goodness, and not from a place of hurt and restriction. Okay? So to the second question. Why do I feel threatened by others? Again, your truth is yours. It has nothing to do with others. The same thing applies the other way around. Their truth has nothing to do with you. However, if you feel threatened by someone's truth, then you have to check in. Because most likely, the thing that you call a truth is not yours. Most likely, it's a tradition and nothing personal. Most likely, it comes from a wound. And most likely, you do not actually believe in it. Some of our truth, we're not a believer of it. We have to accept that. Some of the truth that we believe in, it was given to us. And because of that, we do not, sometimes we don't really have a direct connection to it. Sometimes we do. So if you find yourself being threatened by someone else's truth, then check with yourself. Check which belief you have or belief system you have that is not compatible with that particular truth. And then find out if it actually comes from you. If that truth was from you, from experience, from, upbringing, from school, from friend circle. Check in. Because once you understand your truth, you will become a firm believer of it. And then you will not find others to be threatening. They can say what they want to say, and you can still hold space for them without having to overturn your own truth, without having to shrink, without having to change your stand, and without having to put on a mask. So, the check-in, you're doing it for you, not for others. Keep that in mind. So, let's get to the part of answering the questions. You can answer the question now, or you can, pause and then think about it. Because you have to answer it from a place of truth, deep within. And if you feel like it, you can share in the comments. But you don't have to, because your truth is yours. But it would be nice if you can share how long it took you to get to an answer and how you felt while saying the affirmation and how often you say it. So, see you guys on the other side. These questions really require you to be true to yourself, because by answering them, you're admitting that there was a time, or there are times that you do not accept the truth of others. And it's okay, because a certain truth they really had to swallow. Let's be honest, okay? But as long as you understand the why, you can tackle it. Well, you can address it. And then control it better. Open yourself more to more, because there is more out there. Anyway, let me tell you my answer. Why do I reject other truths? Well, because others have often acted or made comments that were dismissive of my truth. So I became stubborn to be heard. But now I know it doesn't matter. Because as long as I believe in my truth, I'm whole. As above, so below. And the second question, why do I feel threatened by others' truth? because I was unsure of my truth. And after checking in with myself, I realized that some of my truths weren't even mine to begin with. Now I'm not threatened by others' truth. However, truth based on unchecked hatred or unchecked hate do frighten me because they can cause harm. So that's my current stand on it. But I know that I'm able to hold space for truth other than mine. How is it for you guys?